No one has the God-given right to be a novelist. You don't, I'm not a didactic writer. I say this is as I see it, how the world is, and it's up to you to decide how to live. That memories change with the retelling. Every time you retell a story, you often amend it very slightly, so it becomes a fiction in the end, which of course is wonderful for the novelist, but it's less good for us as human citizens. 8 or 9 maybe, and I had a clear vision of what it would be like not to exist, and the terror that came with that. I've always thought that just as the reader is companionably by your side, I'm aware that amongst many other things I've been called a hybrid writer, some word which means he wanders from fact to fiction, it's transgressive or whatever, some such word. Poetry has had rules, drama has had rules, but the novel has never really had rules. And what concerns me is whether it's a good story and whether it's a story I want to tell. I don't think I use love, I think it's just there. It's there in the world, and it's the most intricate and fascinating thing there is in the world. Love and death are the two great themes for writers, I think. They never go away. I'm Julian Barns. But those 50 years of my life had been enriched by a frequent return to Russian culture, especially its music and its literature. Official relations between our two countries have not been exactly harmonious over the last couple of centuries and more. But at a personal level, British people admire and revere Russian art and culture. We adore Chekhov as being the greatest playwright in the world, apart from Shakespeare, that is, of course. Pushkin, Lermontov, Gogol, Turgenev, Tolstoy, Gorky, and so on, they all feel as much a part of our literary culture as they do of yours. The other week I was arguing with an opera expert about who the greatest composer of the 20th century was. We disagreed, but there were only 2 candidates, and they were both Russian. Shostakovich, of course, and Stravinsky. And yesterday there arrived on my desk a new translation of a book I'd enormously admired when I read it in the 60s, which is the several volumes of Paustovsky's autobiography. And I look forward to that with keen interest, seeing how my views have changed and whether the book has changed. All this is a long and rather roundabout way of saying that I'm very honoured and also deeply moved to have been awarded the Yasnaya Polyana Prize for my book, Nothing to be Frightened of. I would like to thank the judges of the prize, my publishers Azbuka Atticus, who have supported me very strongly in these last years, and, of course, the Tolstoy family itself. Thank you very much.
It's true, it says so here, Julian Barnes, The Sense of an Ending. Borges, when asked, as he continually was, why he'd never won the Nobel Prize, always used to reply that in Sweden there was a small cottage industry solely devoted to not giving Borges the Nobel Prize. And at times over the last years, in occasional moments of mild paranoia, I've wondered whether there wasn't perhaps some similar sister organisation operating over here. So I am as much relieved as I am delighted to receive the 2011 Booker Prize. I'd like to thank the judges, whom I won't hear a word against, for their wisdom, and the sponsors for their cheque.